Hey friends, welcome to another Breathe and Flow yoga class. We are so happy to have you here with us on this channel exploring movement and breath and meditation. Thank you so much for being here. Today's class will be a Vinyasa flow sequence. We're connecting breath with movement, and the focus will be hips and back bends. But every one of our classes is always full body, so even if we have a focus point or a peak pose that we're leading up to, regardless of that, it's still full body. If you would like to add some music to your class, then you can head over to our Spotify channel or SoundCloud. The link is below in the description of every video on this channel. And we have about 40 or 50 different playlists there. And we also have a Breathe and Flow monthly playlist. So every month we rotate and we update that playlist. So you only have to subscribe to that one playlist, and then you'll have a constant rotation every month of new music. So scope it out. The length of the classes are different on Spotify, so kind of depends how long you're practicing on your mat. So you might have to pause or jump to the end for Shavasana so you're not raging out to base nectar in the middle of Shavasana. The sequence today that we're going through is a shorter version of one that I have already filmed on our Patreon channel, and that class is 90 minutes. So if you enjoyed this sequence, this flow, and you want to just do it longer and extend it out, add a lot more poses, add some other movements and breath work, meditation, then please head over to our Patreon account. Also, that, as always, is in the description of every video, and we host exclusive content there that is available nowhere else on the internet. If you want to extend your practice and make it longer and also explore some other exclusive programs we have, then head on over to Patreon. All right, enough yakking. You get the gist. Play some music, head to Patreon, let's start flowing. Whenever you're ready, come into a comfortable seat. We always begin our practice from a space of stillness first, so we can root into the foundation of that inner connection with the present moment before we start moving in our body. So we'll be here for just about a minute. Get comfortable, make any last adjustments that you need. Close down the eyes. Sit nice and tall. And with each exhale, just begin to relax any tension that you're holding in your body. Perhaps your eyes are still fluttering, or the muscles in your face are engaged. See if you can relax the muscles in your face. Let the shoulder blades melt down the back. Relax the muscles around the stomach, the abdomen. And take the next few breaths to let any thoughts that are still lingering in your mind to fade away. Give yourself permission to fully arrive in this breath, in this moment. You'll get more out of the practice if you really give yourself the chance to arrive. Step into the present moment, knowing that you can go back to all those things later. But for now, your task, your goal, your project for the next 30 minutes or so is to focus on your breath. The poses are just secondary. On your next inhale, reach your arms up over your head, palms touch at the top, big breath. And exhale, hands come down through the heart. Pause here. Bow the head. Take a moment to be grateful for the fact that you have the opportunity to move in your body, to connect with your breath, to be here now. Namaste. Blink open the eyes. Make your way into a tabletop. So the wrists are under the shoulders, the knees are under the hips. Come on to the tops of the feet. And then we're going to start with some fire hydrants to connect with the breath. So we'll begin with the left leg. So keep the right leg where it's at, and then just start to lift your left leg up out to the left. Flex the left foot, and then lower that left leg back down. Bring it back up. We'll do 4 more. Slowly let it lower. Bring it back up. So each time that you lift the leg, see if you can keep your right hip stacked directly above your right knee. So you're not swinging the hips over to the right. Last one, lift it up. We're going to hold here. Push the ground away. Flex the left foot. Lift that left leg as high as you can. Last 3, 2, 1. Gently set the left leg down, back to tabletop. We'll switch over to the right. Right leg lifts up. Flex the right foot, set it up, and then lower the right leg back down. 4 more on your own. And as you do, start to engage your Ujjayi breath, that gentle sound of the ocean in the back of your throat. So for the remainder of class, you will be breathing only through the nose. If you're not sure what Ujjayi breath is, then you can head over to our breathwork playlist after this class and check it out. We explain exactly how to breathe in a yoga class there. Great job. Last one. Right leg lifts up. We're going to hold here for 5. 2, 1. Great job. Back to that tabletop. Tuck the toes under, sit back on the heels. Stretch out the feet. And then come forward for a wrist warm-up. So the fingertips are going to point towards the outside edge of your mat. The wrists will be just a couple inches apart from each other. And then begin to make some circles around the wrist. See if you can keep the arms straight. Nice and easy here. Switch directions on the circle. And even in the wrist warm-up, you can already be doing that Ujjayi breath. You can already start connecting your breath with the movement. Great job. Sit back on the heels, shake out the wrists. And make your way into a downward dog. Pedal out the legs. One leg at a time. Maybe send both heels off to one side. And then off to the other. And then find some stillness here in your downward dog. It's perfectly fine if your heels don't touch the ground. If they don't, then bend the knees just a little bit more and then press your chest towards your quads. So we're really looking for that length in the upper body. Start to walk your hands back towards your feet. Forward fold, back of the mat. Sway the chest left and right. Let the head hang heavy. Back to center. Keep the knees bent. Start to roll up one vertebrae at a time, all the way to standing, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And fold. All the way to standing. Big breath, exhale, fold. Really start to move with the breath. So take the full length of your breath to reach that end pose. Forward fold. One more time. Inhale all the way to standing. Half sun salutation A. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, walk your hands top of the mat. Downward dog. Inhale, shift forward to plank pose. Push the ground away so you have almost that dome in the upper back. Spread your fingers, press onto the inside part of the hand. So the base of the index finger, the base of the thumb, that's where you want to be putting most of the weight. So you take the weight off the outside cartilage of the wrist. Now continue to press the ground away. And then you're just going to extend, keep the left leg straight, and then swing it out to the left, as far forward on the mat as you can without compromising your plank, and then bring that left leg back. Over to the right. Right leg comes forward, bring it back to plank. Let's do 2 more each side. Over to the right. Over to the left. Last one on the right. Back to plank, lower down into a forearm plank. Tuck the tailbone under. Hips are about the same height as the shoulders, so if your hips are super high, then it's just a sign that you need to build a little bit more strength in the core and the back. And in order to do that, if you can't hold a plank here with your hips the same height as the shoulders, then you just need to set the knees down until you start to develop that strength. So we're here for about 15 more seconds. Start to activate the front side of the body by pulling your toes closer to your elbows. Beautiful. Last 3, 2, 1, set down the knees, set down the hips, Sphinx Pose. Tops of the feet, engage the glutes. Few deep breaths here. If you still don't feel a back bend here, and you want to go and take it deeper, then you'll just keep your hands where you're at and start to straighten the arms for seal pose. Maybe you have come into seal and you realize it's too deep for you and it doesn't feel good, then lower back down to Sphinx. You always have permission to move, to change in your body to make it work for you. We're just here to offer suggestions, but it's really up to you to take them. If you took seal, slowly lower back down, and all together the wrists come underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes under, engage the quads to lift the knees, and then press up to plank. Lift the hips, downward dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky, 3-legged dog. Bend the right knee, open, stack the hips, point the right toes. Find that length along the right side body. Left heel lifts off, exhale, right knee to nose. Flex the right foot, step it between the hands for runner's lunge. Now come on to the fingertips. So you have a little bit of a lift in the chest. Left leg is straight. And then we're going to start to just bounce the hips up and down. So nice and easy. Waking up the hips, saying hello to our fascial lines. And it's kind of fun. All right, slow down the bounce, gently set down the left knee, untuck the toes, interlace the hands behind the back, and start to send the hands down the left hamstring, the hips press forward and down, engage the glutes. Start to roll the shoulders open, the heart lifts up towards the sky. Release the hands. Back down to the ground. Warrior 3 prep is where we meet. Left leg floats up and back. A little micro bend in the right knee. That left leg is fully engaged. So don't worry so much about how high you can bring the back leg. What's more important is that you're engaging all the muscles. The quad, the calf, flexing the foot. Last breath. Chair pose, top of the mat. Slowly step the left foot to meet the right. Arms reach up to the sky. Set the hips low, lift the chest high. And breathe. Reconnect with that Ujjayi breath if you've already lost it. Inhale all the way to standing, arms reach. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift to lengthen the spine. Exhale, place the hands, step the feet back, high plank. Shift forward, come up high on the toes. Knees up or down, bend the arms, chaturanga. Elbows are 90 degrees. We're here for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, upward dog. Come onto the tops of the feet. Press into the hands. Engage the glutes. Exhale, lift the hips, downward dog. Inhale, left leg to the sky, 3-legged dog. Bend the left knee, open, stack the hips. Right heel lifts off, exhale, left knee to nose. Flex the foot, step it between the hands, come onto the fingertips of both hands, and then start to bounce the hips up and down. If you need to bend the back knee, you can, but we're working on stretching the right hip flexor and the left hip as well. Beautiful, slow down that bounce. Set down the right knee gently. Untuck the toes, interlace hands behind the back. Send the hands down the right hamstring, the chest reaches up towards the sky. Release the hands, release the back bend. We meet in Warrior 3 prep. We always encourage you to take your time to move through the transitions. It's never a rush, it's never a race. You want to really feel your way there. You want to see what's moving in your body, what's engaging, what is flexing and stretching. It's all part of the practice. It's not just locking in the final pose. It's more about the presence of the breath. Chair pose. Two more breaths here. You can do it. Set the hips a little lower. Inhale all the way to standing. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale to lift. Exhale takes you back to plank. Inhale, shift forward, high on the toes. Exhale, chaturanga. Just one breath. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky, 3-legged dog. Bend the right knee, open, stack the hips. Come up high on the ball of the left foot. Exhale, right knee to nose. Inhale, lift, open, stack, 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Let's do 3 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to nose. Almost like you're dancing with yourself as you slow down the movements. Last one, knee to nose. Flex the foot, step it between the hands. Warrior 2. Cartwheel the arms open. That right leg is almost 90 degrees. So you should be able to see your big toe on the inside of your knee. You can engage the glutes to help open that knee up. Otherwise, you can just come out of the pose a little bit to do that as well. Gaze is over the right middle finger. Flip the right hand up towards the sky. As we reverse it back, you're going to keep both arms straight. And then begin to reach your left arm, left hand towards your right knee. Exhale, extended side angle, same thing. Hands stay opposite, arms stay straight. Right arm reaches towards the left foot. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, extend. Continue at the pace of your own breath. Almost imagine that you're driving a big school bus and this is the steering wheel, so your hands stay opposite the whole time. Last one, inhale, reverse. Exhale, back to warrior 2. Straighten the right leg, pull the hips back, send the shoulders forward for triangle pose. Right hand comes down wherever it can reach. You don't have to force it to the ground or to your ankle. Left hand is going to come behind you on your low back. Option to take the bind with the left hand on top of the right quad. Your choice. Little micro bend in the right knee. And the gaze is up over your left shoulder. Release the bind if you had it held. Gaze back down towards the ground. We move into half moon. Left leg floats up. Hips are stacked. Again, option to keep that left hand on the low back, or you can bend the left leg, grab onto the left foot, take a little back bend, and a left side quad stretch. 2 more breaths here. However you are. We're all doing our best, no matter what the pose looks like. If you had the back foot held, gently release. We all transition through warrior 3, and we meet in tree pose. Left sole of the foot comes either inside the right thigh or the right calf. You could also just kickstand the left foot down on the ground. So whatever feels best for you. Engage the glutes, press the hips forward and open the left knee up. Palms together, hands at the heart. And lock the pose right in. Steady the gaze. Soften the breath. Option to stay here in tree pose. This is great. Otherwise, if you would like to join me for dancer's pose, you're going to release the left leg. Reach back with the left hand, grab onto the inside of the left foot. Right arm reaches up to the sky. And then start to hinge at the right hip. Reach that right arm forward. And then press the left ankle into the left hand. If you took dancer's pose, slowly release. And then all together, we're going to reach both arms up to the sky. Left knee comes to the chest. And exhale, step left foot to the back of the mat for spider lunge to the left. We'll take a high variation today. Fingertips down on the ground. And then we're going to be facing the left side edge of the mat. So you don't have to turn around on your mat or do anything too crazy, but it might feel a little weird because we're turning perpendicular on the mat. So just listen closely. Keep the left foot exactly as it is. Bring your right knee outside your left ankle and come to a seat. Great job. Left hand comes behind you, And then with the right hand, you could either just hold on to the left knee, or you can take that hook with the tricep or the forearm. Gentle seated twist. Take a few breaths here to reset, reconnect with the breath. Maybe even close your eyes, reconnect with that stillness within. Release the twist. And you're going to keep the left foot, again, exactly where it is. And we're going to meet in a warrior 3 preps. You'll be facing perpendicular on your mat. If you have somebody next to you, maybe negotiate space so you don't kick them in the head. Make your way there, warrior 3 prep. Left leg is planted, right leg is lifted. Now keep the fingertips down on the ground. You can have a bend in the left knee if you need to reach the ground. But then extend your right leg straight out to the right. Keep the right leg straight, and then keep the leg lifted. I know it's tough because then the hips are going to want to go way over to the left, but try to resist. Try to pull the hips back so that the left hip is directly over the left knee and the left ankle. Right foot is flexed. Keep it lifted. Last 3, 2, 1. Rebend the left knee. Prasarita is where we meet. Standing forward, straddle fold. Beautiful job. We're not here for long. Just reset the breath. Slow it down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high spider lunge to the left. Left leg is bent, right leg is straight. Move towards the front of the mat, frame the right foot. And then begin to come onto the knife edge of both feet. So we're stretching the outer hip on both sides. Option to keep your right fingertips down on the ground for extra stability. And then you can lift and lower the hips. Back to that runner's lunge. And then step the right foot back to meet the left. High plank. Move through your vinyasa and we'll meet in downward dog. Once you're there again, welcome that stillness. Inhale, left leg to the sky, 3-legged dog, open stack, bend the left leg. Right heel lifts off, exhale, left knee to nose. Beautiful, inhale, 3-legged dog, open stack. 4 more, nice and slow. Focus on the transition. Can you slow it down? Last one, exhale, knee to nose. Flex the foot, place it between the hands. Rise up strong for warrior 2. Cartwheel the arms open, right heel lowers down. Send all the energy out the fingertips. Tuck the tailbone under, engage the glutes. Cinch in the ribs. Steady the gaze. In yoga, we call that our drishti. Focus on one spot. And breathe. Now keep the legs as they are. Inhale, reverse it back. Right arm reaches forward towards the left knee. Exhale, extended side angle. Again, both arms are straight. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, extend. Nice and slow. Inhale, reverse. Last one. And exhale, warrior two. Straighten the left leg. Pull the hips back, send the shoulders forward. Triangle. Again, right hand can relax on the back on your low back. Or option to take that bind with the right hand and wrap it and hold on to the left quad. Gaze comes up towards the sky. Don't worry if you can't come into the bind. It's really not important. Binds are really easy for me because I have super long limbs and a relatively short torso, so the proportion in my body works great. But there's a lot of other things that I have limitations on in my body, and you just don't see them right now. So be okay with as you are in this pose. It's great. Release the bind. If you had it held, gaze comes back down towards the ground. Shift forward, half moon. You can keep the back of your right hand on your low back, or option to bend the right knee, grab onto the right ankle, take that thigh stretch and that back bend. These are all optional. If you had the foot held, gently release. All together we transition through warrior three to tree pose. Right sole of the foot, inside the left thigh. Press the hands together. Feel the pecs engage. Lower the shoulder blades down the back. And engage the glutes and the core. Breathe. Option to stay here or take dancer's pose. But whatever variation you take, and if you happen to fall out of the pose, just come right back into it. Love yourself in every moment, even during the falls. If you took dancers, begin to release out all together. Both arms reach to the sky, right knee to the chest. And exhale, right foot steps back of the mat. High spider lunge to the right. Fingertips down on the ground. Left knee comes outside the right ankle for that seated twist. This time you're facing the right side edge of your mat. Right hand comes behind you. And then left hand either holds onto the knee or take the hook to come into the twist. Either way, close down the eyes. Lengthen the spine with each inhale. And the exhale takes you deeper into the twist. Gently release, blink open the eyes. Keep the right foot exactly where it's at on the mat. And then start to lift the hips. We meet in warrior three prep. Left leg shoots straight back. So the right foot is down on the ground. The left leg is lifted and you're perpendicular on your mat. Keep the fingertips down on the ground. Option to bend the right knee. And then extend the left leg straight out to your left. So we're really working our abductor muscles today, the outsides of our hips. If you couldn't already tell, try to keep that left foot flexed. Last 3, 2, 1. Soft bend in the right knee, land the left foot, Prasarita. Take a moment to adjust the feet. We're just here for a few breaths, so make it good. Sink right into the pose, let your head hang heavy. Inhale to lift. Exhale, high spider lunge to the right. Move towards the front of the mat. Frame the left foot. And then come onto the knife edge of both feet for that hip stretch once again. So the right palm can come down onto the ground, or you can stay on the fingertips. And then you can just have your left hand there for support. Gently lift and lower the hips up and down. Beautiful, lift the hips back up, pivot the feet again, runner's lunge, and then step the left foot back to meet the right, high plank. Shift forward, come up high on the toes, and then bend the arms, chaturanga. Hold here, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the chest all the way down to the ground. Interlace the hands behind the back, locust with C arms. Inhale, lift everything up. Thighs lift off, chest lifts off, glutes are engaged. If you notice yourself rocking forward and back, that's great. You're doing those deep belly breaths. Stick with it. Last 3, 2, 1, and release. Hands come underneath the forehead, bend the knees, windshield wiper the legs. The hands come under the shoulders and lift the chest to a tabletop. So keep the left leg where it's at. And then reach your right foot up towards the sky. Keep the right leg bent. And then flex the right foot as if you're standing on the ceiling. And then start to lift the right knee up even higher. And then lower down just so that the quad is parallel to the ground. Lift, parallel. Lift, parallel. So we're isolating our right glute. Continue to push the ground away so you're not collapsing between your shoulder blades. Great job. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Lift and hold. Great job. Exhale, right knee to the nose. And bring it right back up. Right foot to the sky. Let's do 2 more. Right knee to the nose. Bring it up. Exhale, right knee to the nose. This time you're going to shift forward a little bit more over the wrists and then bring your right toes in front of your left knee for full cow face pose. Start to draw your right foot back towards the other. And then send your left foot over to the right so you can create a little bit of space for the hips as you lower them down. So full cow face is quite obviously a very intense pose for most people. It's a lot on the hips, so maybe you're here and this is already too intense for you, like you can't possibly be comfortable sitting here. So if that's you, then just grab a pillow or a couch cushion or something to sit on so that you reduce that flexion of the hips. Otherwise, if you're here and this is like really juicy and yummy feeling to you, and you want to take it deeper, then you can just slowly lower the chest down. onto the right thigh. So we're all coming from different places, different injuries, different experience. So it's very important to just move in a way that feels good for you. We really cannot emphasize that enough. We have so many people that ask us, like, am I doing this pose right? And of course there's things and cues that we want to adhere to in order to keep the pose safe. But you have to remember that there's 7 billion ways to do this exact pose because each person has a different body. So you really have to make it feel good for you. If you had the chest lowered, start to lift it back up. And then with the help of the hands all together, you're going to come back onto the knees. Walk your hands forward. And now the right leg, the right knee is already down on the mat. With the hands down, you're just going to extend your left leg up to the sky. So now we're switching over to the other side. It's okay if you're a little bit off on your mat, that's fine. Start to lift and lower your left foot up towards the sky. By lower, I mean you're just bringing that left quad parallel to the ground. Great job. Keep that pulsing going. Push into the ground even more. Last 3. Last 2. Last one. Lift it up. Hold here. I know this is a lot on that left glute, but it's all good. We're coming to the end of class. You can do it. Last 3, 2, 1. Exhale, left knee to the nose. Bring it right back up to the sky. Nice and easy. Knee to the nose. One more time, inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Draw it in as close as you can. Shift forward. Cross the left toes in front of the right knee. And then walk your hands back. Set the hips down between the 2 ankles. And then again, check in with yourself. Maybe this side already feels a little bit differently than the other side. Maybe this is tighter or more flexible. So just because you were able to go a certain depth on one side doesn't mean that you can do it exactly the same on the other. So check in, see where am I? What would feel good for me? What would serve me in my body right now? And then go there. As we're moving into our last couple poses of this class, really invite the breath to slow down. Invite yourself to relax, soften. If you had the chest lowered, start to lift it back up. All together with the help of the hands, lift the hips, walk the hands forward, and then keep the left leg down on the ground, and then the right leg just comes back and over. Come back into a tabletop. Take a few circles with the hips. So now you can see why this was a hip-focused class and a back-bending class. But again, you moved your body in so many different directions, so many different poses. So it's still a full body practice. Great job. And then walk the hands back, come into a comfortable seat. Either hero's pose as I am, or you can just cross the ankles and sit cross-legged. We're here for just maybe a minute for this meditation. But if you'd like to already lower onto your back, take Shavasana now. You're welcome to do that too. Close down the eyes if they're not already there. With every exhale, you relax just a little bit more. Again, just as we did at the beginning of class, relax the muscles in the face, relax the muscles around the stomach. Just let everything soften as you surrender to the moment you're in now, the body that you're in this moment. Remembering the beautiful body that you're in. How great it is that we have the opportunity to wake up and that all the different systems in the body are constantly talking to each other, keeping you in balance, keeping you in good health. So beautiful. So I'll close down this class today. You could either stay as you are in the comfortable seat or lie down on your back for Shavasana. But I'd like to leave you with the feeling and remembering of gratitude in your heart for your body. We're all on this journey together, but we're all coming from different stages. And whatever stage you're in, it's great. You're exactly where you're meant to be, doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. So we never look back on our practice with judgment. We only look back with gratitude. We had one more day to move and breathe and feel that love within. Thank you so much for joining me for class today. Sending you lots of love today and always. Namaste.